Next, we're going to hear from one of our members.
Hello, I'm Bobby. This is my first time ever on a speaking panel for PLC, so yeah. 2 years ago, it definitely would not have occurred to me to ever want to do this. Definitely would not have the guts or the passion, so thank you. First off, for letting me speak. So I've been homeschooling since forever. Up to my sophomore year of high school, which is when I first joined PLC. So I had never set foot in any sort of public or private school or formal school up until now, I'd say, as Princeton Friends School. So as a homeschooler my entire life, I wasn't too under-socialized. I always had a small group of friends that were with me, but that changed. I grew out of one group of friends to another, up until my most recent group, which is PLC. I never had the experience of doing things that regular school kids got to do. Parties, homework, that kind of stuff, but no regrets. I'm glad I homeschooled through the most of my life. Academic-wise, it was okay. Average, I guess. Not extraordinary. I wasn't doing the electives that I wanted to be doing, so I felt kind of bored. I was bored. I felt bored. And then come the age of 13, 14, and 15, those are my dark years, I guess. It wasn't until the end of my 15th year that I started at PLC. But before that, it was really bad. No self-value, worthless, hated myself, you know, it's that kind of guy. Such like really selfish thoughts. Like, so you know when you open the fridge to get something to eat, and then you close it because there's nothing you want, and you open it 30 seconds again later because you're still hungry? It's kind of what every day was like. Opening the fridge, there's nothing there. Kept going back. So, well, some days were better than others. There was always depression. I did my best to hide it most of the time. I don't think you guys saw it all the time. A month before my first year of PLC was when my father passed away. And then PLC was really weird for me in the beginning because I was really caught up between this beautiful philosophy of learning to love learning and following your dreams and finding your passions. I was so confused. I was depressed and I lost my father. The disassociation kept me down with you're no more than the average schmuck. You don't have electives behind you, you're not passionate about stuff. So I told myself a month after PLC started, I was so disassociated and confused. Things got kind of scary. I refused help. But it was close. It was the following day at PLC. I don't know if people noticed. Empty shell Bobby walking in. There's nothing. The teenager's conviction of that I would be different is gone. There's nothing. That feeling didn't last long though, because you spend a day at PLC and you just hear stories of disasters in the microwave of cooking ramen. You know, I remember I was spontaneously dragged into making a movie with Kevin, one of the PLC alumni. Just, hey, main role, get up there. Weekly current events with Joel. You know, that teenager's conviction came back real fast. And then things started changing, like big things. So my father was an extraordinary photographer. This is one of the great things that PLC has done to me. Give me like the activism mindset to follow in his footsteps. So I like to do traveling and doing experiments with photography, and make the next like innovative image. So photography is one of the ways of honoring my father, and it's also my artistic outlet. It's a terrible, terrible my free flow form of self-expression. And PLC's philosophy really got me on track. And in the spring of this year, I dual enrolled to take digital photography at Robert Bell Community College. So being homeschooled my whole life, I was really scared about being in a college classroom environment, but it went well. I was surprised that I passed. And since the start of class, my photographs have been, in my opinion, greatly improved. And I hope if my father were here that he would be proud of my work. The next big way my mindset started changing was video games. I've been gaming since a young age, the very beginning, but it was always like a pastime or like a distraction sort of thing, and a way to remove myself from reality. Disassociated Bobby liked to be removed. One of my new friends here at PLC introduced me to the Dota 2 community. Dota 2 has by far been the hardest learning curve of any game I've ever played before, let alone heard of or seen. I became more involved with thinking and strategizing rather than actually playing the game. It was completely mind-boggling to me, the sheer amount of teamwork, planning, and reflex you needed. It was so advanced. I spend days trying to describe everything that goes on in a 45-minute game of Dota 2D, but I started looking at other games this way too, and I started thinking concepts and deeper meanings behind the video games, incorporating teamwork and cooperation in any multiplayer environment. And that PLC activism mindset, despite what you may think, got me more involved in the game. Last summer I tried out for competitive teams in a game called Team Fortress 2, in ETF2L and UGC leagues. I told the coaches not to pass me through because I didn't really want to devote my entire life to video games, but one team thought I was really exceptional in my teamwork and leadership skills. And their captain told me if I ever reconsidered that they would take me in a second. And then to this day, I still play on and off like practices with them. So they've been very welcome. Another great thing about doing PLC is lead. As I told them, a good leader, and that I voice my opinions and give lots of constructive criticism and develop plans and think quickly. I don't know how true this is. It's just what I'm told. But this year at PLC, I was given the opportunity to coach Ultimate Frisbee. Ultimate Frisbee is something I've been doing for a few years. First on a team, on a middle school team. I believe in North Brunswick or East Brunswick. One of the two. And then I played pickup in Highland Park with some adults. That's another one of my good passions, and I'd like to say the team this year has grown a lot since the start of the 13-14 year. The skill and the teamwork I've seen is extraordinary, and I could not be more proud of the current team. So, props to you guys. The most recent thing PLC has helped me to do, and definitely one of the most extraordinary, is inspire someone. So I met a girl over a video game, and we became friends. But the relationship extended past that of any other guy or girl I met online. We started Skyping, because she lives just over 1,000 miles away. She expressed her dislike of school, and one of the biggest problems was that she suffered from acid reflux disease. So stress would always cause you to get really sick, and then when you're sick and have to miss out a lot of school, you fall behind, you get a lot of extra work, that induces more stress. It wasn't good. So all I did was I told her about PLC, just give her a quick run over my story. I started enrolling, how easy it was to just put together a high school transcript on a Google Doc and apply for community college, and how like recently my passions have been blooming. She was almost moved to tears just by seeing how happy I was over a pixelated video call. And she proceeded to soon quit school and start homeschooling, because there's no PLC like center where she lives. And to confirm your suspicions, we have started dating. And she plans on visiting over the summer and hopefully over the winter to visit the actual PLC. So that's just a small part of my story, which is one of many. I think it would be a dream come true to hear everyone else's story. As PLC and North Star, the other independent learning centers, are breaking history here. So thank you.
for our advertising, right? Like join PLC, your love life will improve.